There is something you have been doing that you have not given yourself credit for. Quietly, without applause, without external confirmation that it was working or would lead anywhere worth going. You kept going. Through the nights when the uncertainty was loud enough to drown out everything else. Through the mornings when getting up felt like a decision that required more than you had. Through the stretches when hope felt irresponsible, when forward felt meaningless, when stopping would have been so much easier than continuing. You did not stop. That is not a small thing. That is actually the whole thing. And most of what that season cost you happened in private, in the invisible interior of your daily life, where nobody was watching and nothing was being rewarded, and the only thing keeping you moving was something in you that refused, quietly, stubbornly, without drama, to be finished. That season is behind you now. Not ending, not easing. Behind you. And the version of you that exists on this side of it is genuinely different from the one who entered it. Not because time passed. Because something was built in the difficulty that cannot be built any other way. Capacity for real uncertainty. The ability to hold what is unresolved without being destroyed by it. A relationship with your own inner knowing that has been tested under conditions that actually demanded something from it, and held. Turning points do not announce themselves. They do not arrive with the feeling of arrival. Most of the time they feel like more of the same, more uncertainty, more fatigue, more of the particular weight that has become so familiar it started feeling like just the texture of life. So you move through the actual turn without recognizing it as a turn. You keep bracing for impact that has already happened. You keep scanning for the next wave when the storm has already passed. There were small signs, a moment where you made a decision from a clearer place than you had been able to access in months. A brief window where something that was not quite hope but was in the same family as hope moved through you. A morning where the quality of your breath was slightly different. These things were easy to dismiss. They felt too small to trust, but they were not wishful thinking. They were your perception registering what had already shifted in the structure of your life before your circumstances had time to reflect it back visibly. The turn happened. You just have not fully given yourself permission to believe it yet. The difficulty of this season was never primarily about the circumstances. Circumstances are facts. What was hard, what actually required everything you had, was continuing to be yourself through them. Continuing to show up to your own life when your life was not giving you much to show up for. Choosing, over and over without guarantee or reward, to remain someone who was still trying rather than someone who had simply given up on the whole endeavor. That choice was made in private. Nobody was scoring it. Nobody handed you anything for making it on the hardest days. And yet you made it, day after day, in the small and invisible way that real endurance actually works. Not grand and heroic, but quiet and persistent. One more day, one more attempt, one more refusal to be finished before something real had the chance to arrive. That stubbornness was not weakness dressed up as strength. It was the actual substance of what this season was building in you. And what it built is yours now in a way nothing can take back. If this is reaching you at a real moment, there is a link in the description to support this work. Only if it genuinely moves you. What has been given toward this from that kind of place is what makes it possible to keep reaching people exactly when they need it. Here is what changes now. Everything that comes next arrives at a version of you that has already proven something. You have proven you can move through difficulty without being destroyed by it. You have proven that the quiet part of you that kept insisting forward was not delusion, it was navigation. You have proven that what you carry is more durable than the circumstances that tried to reduce it. That proof is not abstract. It shows up in the quality of your decisions going forward, in a tolerance for uncertainty that people who have not been through a season like yours simply do not yet have. In a clarity about what actually matters that can only come from having been stripped of the things that do not. In the ability to recognize, without someone else confirming it for you, what is real and what is noise. These are not consolation prizes for what the season cost. They are the actual output of it. the specific things that are now available to you that were not available before, and that will shape everything from here in ways you are only beginning to discover. What is coming does not land on the same ground it would have landed on a year ago. It lands on ground that was built by every day you moved through when moving through felt impossible. That ground is solid in a way it was not before, and solid ground changes what can be built on it. There is something worth doing right now, not as a technique, but as a simple act of honesty with yourself. Let your body know it is over. Your nervous system does not automatically update when a hard season ends. It keeps scanning for the next threat. It keeps running the background process of low-level bracing that kept you functioning through the hardest part. That process does not switch off on its own just because the season has changed. So tell it, not by forcing anything, just by acknowledging, the worst of it is behind me. I moved through something genuinely hard, and I am still here, and I do not need to remain braced for what already passed. Notice what shifts when you hold that honestly. Something softens. The quality of the breath changes slightly. That is not nothing. That is your body being given permission to begin arriving somewhere new. Permission it has been waiting for while you were still too close to the difficulty to fully trust it was actually behind you. It is behind you. The link in the pinned comment is there for anyone who feels moved to support this work. What is given freely from a genuine place is what keeps this reaching people at the moments that actually matter. You are not starting fresh from here. Fresh would mean beginning without resources, without the depth this season gave you, without the particular clarity that only comes from having been tested by something real. Fresh would actually be a lesser position. You are starting equipped, with more precision than you had before, more of the specific substance that develops through being genuinely challenged and choosing, again and again, to continue being yourself through it. The version of you that this season produced is not diminished by what it went through. It is sharpened by it. There is a difference between being worn down and being refined. Worn down has less than it started with. What you are carrying now is more. Stop looking back at what you came through. It did its work. Look forward. What is ahead is already moving toward you, and it recognizes exactly who you have become.